Hello, Internet, and welcome to another Tadpog podcast, a show that happens twice a week where two old guys talk about old games.
Wait, hold up. We're not doing.
I got a story.
We're not doing Tadpog. This isn't Tadpog podcast. This is Two Dudes and an S.
We're not even on that show.
No, we're not. But we're doing a promo. We're introducing their show, and we're going to plug our show in the process. So it works out. It works out for them because they get us doing what we do, and then we get all their listeners. They promise that all of their listeners will start listening to our show.
That's pretty good.
It's pretty good.
I said it's pretty good.
Yeah. We definitely want all their listeners.
Hey, Justin.
What's up, man?
What's wrong?
I'm aggravated.
Why? What's going on?
You know what? I told you. It's pronounced Ninja Gaiden.
Oh, no. It's Gaiden. We all know it's Gaiden.
No, it's Gaiden.
Dude, you don't even know what you're saying.
We've already done the episode, and I thought we settled this back then.
Well, we got two more episodes, and it's Gaiden. We can't go around saying Gaiden all the time.
All right. You know what? I know how we can settle this.
Oh, yeah? How's that?
Ladies and gentlemen, from Gladiator Arena in Los Angeles, California, here are your American Gladiators. Ice, Ice Baby, Jedi, Blade, Do the Thunder Shake, Storm, Laser, the Zapster, Power, Violent, Nitro. The Samuel Goldwyn Company presents the American Gladiators. Let the games begin.
Alright, you puny little punks. Are you ready to go through the most terrifying obstacle against the most biggest, baddest mother truckers out there?
First of all, you're going down, and you're going down too, Mike. We're going to sell this. We're going to call it Gaiden from here on out.
No, it's going to be Gaiden. Justin, you're going down, and I'm going to clean up that potty mouth of this soldier here.
This soldier?
Yeah, that's his gladiator name, Soldier.
Oh, soldier. Okay.
Yeah, Soldier.
You going down, punks?
The zip line, the only breather the contender gets on this eliminator course.
No room for error.
The wall, keyboard over that. Now the treadmill. He's home free if he makes it up. He does.
Okay. All right, so I guess we'll just call it that ninja game then.
Yeah, I guess we'll just have to potato it.
Yeah, okay. We'll just butcher it then. Hey, but I got an even better idea than arguing about Ninja Gaiden.
What's that?
Gaiden.
Yeah, I like how you just verified my point was correct.
How about we just cover American Gladiators?
Well, that's like a better idea already.
All right. We got a guest with us. It just so happens this guest's favorite game of all time, of any system, I think, is American Gladiators for the NES.
All right.
And it's my brother, Matthew.
What up, guys? Yeah, I love American Gladiators. Even though the wall is very hard for me to accomplish. But it's a fun game.
Okay. Yeah.
I think it's very hard for anybody to accomplish.
Yeah, pretty sure. So, Justin, how about you kick us off with a little history? Justin's historical tidbits and trivia. Although whenever I think of tidbits,
because we wanted to do Tadpog Tidbits.
Right.
Where it was just be a 2-minute thing where we talk about...
I thought it was a minute-long podcast, Tidbits.
Oh, well, I guess that works too. I was just a minute to 2 minutes where we just talk about our junk on Facebook. And it's Tadpog Tidbits.
All right, so couple things. There's not a whole lot of history out there on this game. Or is there? So this game was developed... So this game was developed by Incredible Technologies, which was started by a NASA software engineer and a biochemist.
Oh, wow!
Yeah, so it's pretty. They're still around today. They're still operating in Illinois with around 132 employees. This game was released for both the NES, the Super NES, Sega Mega Drive, Genesis, and the Amiga. However you pronounce that.
Amiga.
But, I think the only proper way to do this little bit of section is a quiz game.
Oh, snap.
All right, so... This game, Matthew, the rules are, there are each question, there'll be 5 questions, there'll be multiple choice answers. When you think you know the answer, you don't have to wait for the question to be finished reading or even the multiple choice. You just say your name. Just say your name.
Okay.
And you probably want to go with the shorter name.
I don't know, we both got the same
Matt.
syllables.
Just go Matt and go Mike. Or
Matt
you could
Mike.
both go Matthew and Michael, but you got to agree to that.
Okay. Let's just go Matt and Mike.
So I say Mike.
Yeah, you said Mike.
Okay.
You say Mike, and Mike, you say Matt.
Okay.
And, it takes your brain a split second longer to think of a 2-syllable version of your name, right?
Sure.
Yeah.
It takes your brain 2 split seconds longer to think of a 2-syllable version of somebody else's name.
Yeah. Okay, so anyway, you think you know the answer? Then you buzz in with your name. All right.
Got it.
This game, while developed by Incredible Technologies, was published for the NES by a company called GameTech, who had a niche, or a niche, for doing video games for game shows. What game show did they not do a game for? Was it A, Wheel of Fortune, B, Double Dare, C, Super Password, or D, Let's Make a Deal?
Mike.
Okay, Matthew.
C, Super Password.
They made a Super Password game.
Okay,
So,
Matt.
Mike. All right.
D.
D is correct. They did not make a Let's Make a Deal. But they did make Wheel of Fortune, Double Dare, Hollywood Squares, Jeopardy, Pressure Luck. I really want to play Pressure Luck, actually, because it's one of my favorite all-time game shows.
Is it on NES?
I didn't even look that up.
Is that the whammy
seems like
game?
something I-
Yes.
Yeah. No whammy, no whammy, no whammy, no whammy. Stop. Okay. Well, anyway, while we're looking that up, I am going to ask question number 2.
I was looking up Let's Make a Deal instead because I was trying to remember what that was.
Well, it's the one Wayne Brady does a version of it now.
Okay. Yeah, that's
Where they,
who did the original?
People are shoot, I don't remember. But I know it's like where they walk around the audience, people dressed up in costumes, and
Is it the one where they have 3 doors or something? They look behind the 3 doors.
Yes.
Yeah, they played at a lot of doctor offices and stuff. Car waiting rooms.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. It's very true.
Yeah. It was originally hosted by Monty Hall. Yeah, because the Monty Hall theory.
Monty Hall.
Yeah,
that's
the
right.
Monty Hall
Monty
theory.
Hall.
That's pretty cool. You know the Monty Hall theory?
No.
Okay. Well, let me enlighten you and everyone else.
I'm really interested.
Okay. So it's not really a theory. I guess it's I don't know what you call it, like a conundrum or a weird statistic thing. Like he offers you 3 doors right at the end, and you get to pick one of 3 doors. Well, you say, I want door number 3. he says, okay, well, I'm going to take door number 1 away because it's not a deal. Now you can switch. Do you want to switch or stick with your original? And most people think, oh, well, I got a better chance, 50-50 chance now if I switch, right? Well, no. Yeah. The Monty Hall problem or whatever is, no, the statistics don't change. You still have the same statistics. And you're actually more likely to win if you stick with your original answer. But people are more likely to actually switch because they think that now all of a sudden the odds are better when in actuality they aren't.
You know, they've done studies where in test taking, where if you have a question that you're unsure on, if you guess, not guess, but make an educated guess on an answer, then you're more but if you go back and switch that answer, you're more likely to switch it to the wrong answer, and you're more likely to be. So it's kind of the same thing, I guess.
Yeah, it's kind of the same thing.
Yeah,
and there's a cool video I remember seeing. I think it's on YouTube called the Monty Hall Problem. Watch it. I may have butchered it a little bit, but it's basically it's saying, don't switch because that's how they
with your instinct.
That's how they trick you, is by taking one door away and then making you think you have better odds when you actually don't. But it's a cool little problem. I remember covering it in math class back in high school or whenever it was.
Okay.
Anyways, can we move on?
That was a cool little tangent.
Oh, yeah. Okay. Thank you.
All right. So, question number 2. We have all of these following gentlemen were announcers for the show American Gladiators. Which one, however, played for my beloved Chicago Bears? Was it A, Mike Adamle, B, Joe Theismann, C, Larry Csonka, or D, Danny Lee Clark?
Mike.
All right, go with Matthew saying Mike.
B.
It is not Joe Theismann.
Matt.
Okay. Michael?
Let me go with C.
C is not right. Larry Csonka played for the Dolphins, actually.
Oh.
Actually, with the championship Dolphins.
I just knew he was good.
It was Mike Adamle.
I was going to say that first. I didn't want to freak you out, though.
Only for 1 year, though. And Danny Lee Clark, do you know who Danny Lee Clark is?
I do not.
He was an announcer for the last season, but he's also known as Nitro.
Oh, the original Nitro?
Yeah, for 6 seasons he was Nitro and then went to the announcing desk for the final season.
I feel like Nitro was always my favorite, but I can't remember them all.
Yeah, he's pretty bad. He's a pretty bad dude. Okay, so the score is still 1-0. Mike, who is playing, as Matt. All right. So I'm going to read the following 4 names, and you have to pick out which one was not a gladiator. Was it A, Malibu? Was it B, Zap? Was it C, Bronco? Or was it D, Lightning?
Matt. I'm going to say Bronco.
Bronco was a gladiator for 1 season.
Mike.
Matt?
I'm going to say Zap.
Zap was also
I knew Zap
a
was
gladiator for, looks like 2 seasons.
I guess Lightning,
no, he was for 5. Yeah, it's Lightning. Lightning was never a name for a gladiator. You'd think that'd be a good one,
Better than Bronco.
Yeah, Bronco? What's up with that?
He's probably a cowboy.
Well, actually, that would make sense because OJ played that character. But
wait, what?
No. Okay, joking. Okay, so we've been through 3 questions. The score is still 1-0.
It's a great game.
Yeah. All right, here we go. Here's another one. Another question that is related to the television show. For the first 4 seasons, they gave away this car as the grand prize for winning.
Matt.
Was it Mike?
Ford Taurus.
It was not even a choice. So Matt, here's your 4 choices.
I drive a Dodge Stratus.
Here's your 4 choices, Matt. Was it a Ford Explorer, a Ford Bronco, a Chevrolet Trailblazer, or a Chevrolet Silverado?
Trailblazer.
It was a Trailblazer.
Oh, snap.
All right, we're all tied up going into the final question. And I hope somebody gets this because I don't have a tiebreaker.
I shouldn't have said Ford Taurus.
You're close.
Yeah, close. Yeah, clearly close. Okay. Well, in the same year that the video game for the NES was released, the show moved studios from Universal Studios over to their new named studio. What is that studio's name? Is it A, Gladiator Studio, B, the Coliseum, C, Gladiator Arena, or D, NBC Studios?
Matt.
Ooh, this was close.
Give it to him. Give it to him. He's the guest.
Matt, go ahead.
I'm going to say B, because I forgot what the choices were.
B was Coliseum, and that is not correct.
I think it was Gladiator Arena.
It was Gladiator Arena. And Michael continues his streak of winning the guest. Yeah, whatever. Quiz show game. Whatever.
Nice. All right, I like the quiz. It was not very game-related this time.
No, it's not very game-related because there's not a whole lot on this game.
Hey, can you tell me who did the sound at least? Because when we get into the gameplay, the sound is going to be something I'm going to be really enjoying, I think.
Well, I did have the guy's name up. You go ahead and tell me your story for the
quest.
The quest, and I will tell you that in a minute.
Michael's quest to find the cart. Does he find it?
Well, what kind of cart?
A cartridge, maybe.
Oh, a cartridge.
Probably a cartridge.
Okay.
I mean, they are talking about this game, so I'm assuming that he did find the cartridge. Spoilers.
Okay, there we go.
I did have that pulled up, but it's gone now.
Okay, well, my quest for the cart is I have had this one forever. Boring, but it's the truth.
I figured that was the truth.
Matthew and I have been playing this one for many years. Probably since Matthew was born, at least. I've probably had this game before Matthew was born, to be honest. But
so it was released in 91. Matthew, when were you born?
93.
Yeah. 2 years prior to your birth.
Yeah, so Michael had 2 years of playing the game before I even came to existence.
Yeah, he was training.
That's why he beat me.
Yeah, I trained for 2 years before Matthew was born. Of course, he came out of the womb playing this game. So.
Yeah. You know, I did have, actually, as part of the quiz game, was going to be what family sitcom was the show American Gladiators featured on.
And then I ruined
But then we ended up having a talk about it for about 10 minutes before we started the show. So then I was like, I got to take that question out.
Well, that's Family Matters.
So, yeah, Family Matters. The infamous tie at the end with Urkel and Carl Winslow.
Probably my favorite episode of Family Matters, I think.
Yeah.
It's a good one. It's a really good one. Did you get this cart, Justin?
I did, actually. It's fairly cheap.
Did you get it from the Shady Game Store?
I did.
Nice.
Sound design. Okay, here. The sound design was by a guy named Leif Marweed.
Ooh, Leif Marweed. Was he a Viking?
He should have been, if he wasn't. And so the game design was a guy named Lonnie D. Ropp. Software designed by Chris Oberth. And graphic design by Tony Sherman.
So, what are these guys Americans?
Tony Sherman probably is. Lonnie Ropp sounds pretty generic kind of name.
Leaf sounds pretty like Swedish.
Leaf sounds
or something.
foreign.
Well, when was he born? Because, there's some weird names in the 70s.
Yeah, there's some weird names out there now. I don't know. I don't know when he was born.
Isn't your middle name Leaf, Justin? Justin Leaf?
Yeah, Justin Leaf Harrell. Yeah. Exactly.
I thought he pronounced it Loff.
Yeah. Just among friends. We don't like to announce that on the podcast.
Right.
All right. Well, let's talk about this game a little bit.
The game discussion. And I read it like the game because that's a Triple H. That's how he says his name on the WWE. The game.
I don't like that voice. I think
the game discussion.
It seems like you're trying too hard.
Dave, I love you.
Oh, well, okay. I love you too, Tyler. But I still
two dudes and an NES.
It's a NES.
I claim it for myself.
It's okay.
Time to discuss the game.
All right.
Justin, did you play it any prior to buying it this time? Did you ever have any experience with it as a kid?
You know, I know I didn't play it as a kid, which is really odd to me looking back because I loved American Gladiators, the television show.
Yeah.
And I watched that every time it was on, and even the reruns I like to watch when they showed the reruns on USA Network. But for some reason, I never played this game, and I was trying to remember if we ever played it when we lived together, but I don't ever remember playing it.
I don't know.
Especially when I played it this week, I thought I didn't really feel like I'd ever played it before. But that being said, I can see where this game could be fun, playing it like as a sibling rivalry. Like I'm sure the story we're going to hear from you guys.
Right.
But it's pretty tough, and the controls seem a little, I don't know, icky.
Icky?
At times.
I don't know what you're talking about.
So, you know.
Well, before we get too deep into this, I got a little something here. A little something.
Oh, yeah. I know what this is.
Do you know what this is?
Maybe. Yes.
You know what it is.
Yeah.
Okay. So, it's the manual.
Mm-hmm.
The Battle of the Weekend Warriors. Welcome to the wild world of sports. Fight or flight. The American Gladiators, trademark, are ready to square off. And frankly, they don't believe you're up to the challenge. It's up to you to prove them wrong. So if you think you're good, you better be great. Because these guys are bad. Got a little phlegm in my throat at that last
part.
Man,
I tell you, I'm shaking. The game that I bought didn't come with a manual. I'm kind of glad. I would have been scared to play it.
Yeah. I love it's super colorful. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
This is what 91 gets you compared to 86 or something, you know?
That's right.
You get a very colorful manual.
Higher quality. Mm-hmm.
Let's see. Enter your password. Did you notice that the passwords were all A's and B's?
Yeah, I did notice that, actually. Yeah, because I was looking up if there was any cheats or anything, and I found just somebody had posted all the passwords, and I saw, they're all A's and B's, so there you go.
Yeah. See, it just basically tells you all the events, which we can go through here in a minute, and if we need to reference back to the manual, then we can. Oh, and then here's a smattering of other games made by GameTech.
Yeah.
Down here at the end. Harlem Globetrotters.
How many of those have you played?
I have played Wheel of Fortune, Jeopardy, and Family Feud. I have not played Concentration or Harlem Globetrotters.
I have played Wheel of Fortune and Jeopardy. Wheel of Fortune was a game that my grandmother had, and we used to play it all the time. So.
Ooh, personal organizer. That sounds like a page turner.
The Game Boy version of personal organizer.
Yeah. The Game Boy version of Spanish.
So they made learning games.
Yeah, oh, that's exciting.
Mm-hmm.
All right, we can reference back to this manual if we need to. Let's. I will say yes, you were correct in that Matthew and I have always kind of used this as I wouldn't call it a sibling rivalry because we kind of got a little bit of camaraderie going whenever we play this game because we want to try to make it far.
We're against the Gladiators, not each other.
We're against the Gladiators and each other a little bit, but mostly against the Gladiators.
Mm-hmm.
But I honestly I have no idea why we like this game so much. And I will say that I really do like this game quite a bit. And it may be partly because Matthew made me play it so much over the years, but
I like this game because it's fun.
Well, there you go.
There you go. Bottom line. Well, it might be, because when going back to a game that we covered very early in this podcast, in my unfaltering love for anticipation that nobody seems to like, except for me. It could be somewhat similar to that.
It could be. Although, no, we won't get into that. We may have to go back to American Gladiators if we try to get into this game versus anticipation.
Yeah, that's probably true. Because this game probably is better than the anticipation. But I still like anticipation.
Okay. No problem. I'm not going to argue.
And American Gladiators was the original American Ninja Warrior. And actually, I'm even going to venture out and say it was more challenging because there was multiple obstacles, not just one.
Yeah, and there was people against you.
Yeah, you had to fight like big buff dudes and chicks and stuff. It was like crazy.
Scary chicks.
Yeah, scary chicks.
Yeah.
And not only that, but you also had, everything was foam. You know how hard it is to run on foam?
Mm-hmm.
The Ninja Warriors, they run on this, I don't know what it is. It's like rubber or something.
Yeah. And it's like, oh man. They always talk about the steroid use in sports. But there had to have been some steroid use in American Gladiators.
Oh, yeah. Definitely.
Those gladiators were big people.
They were big dudes. And girls.
Mm-hmm.
Women.
Well, yeah.
Yeah, scary. Anyways. So let's talk about the events. You want to talk about the events? Okay, starting off, I'm just going to go in order of the manual here. So if anyone's following along, turn to page 6, please. The Joust.
Okay. Joust is the first one that I encountered. And first of all, I got to say, though, and I can't remember. Yeah, it was with Joust and with the human cannonball. When you knock the gladiator off, the scream is actually quite the terrifying scream.
Yeah, it is. It is a scary scream. It's what I would call blood curdling.
Yeah. It's like, I just knocked you off like this pedestal, not knock it. I didn't knock you to your death.
Yeah, into a pit of foam, I might add. Not
Spartan kick into the pit.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
There must be like snakes down there. No, but
I like the...
I like
when...
Go ahead.
I like in the Joust, the moves of the Joust. With like the low punch, and it's like you're almost like just like I picture like when you're like washing something with a long brush, and you're like giving it one of these. But anyway,
yeah, this is one of my least favorite events, mainly because the first level. I guess we should real quick explain how this game works. There are 4 levels of these events that we're describing now, and after each level, all the events get more difficult. And then after you complete 4 levels of all that, then you get to go to the eliminator. Well, the Joust in the first level is really easy.
Mm-hmm.
And then in the second level, it is near impossible. Or at least for me. I just cannot figure it out in the second level. So Joust is probably one of my least favorites because it's so easy and kind of boring in the first one. Because once you figure out which direction or which middle, low, high thrust to do, then on each guy, then you nail it, and it's super easy.
And not to mention, you don't even have to battle the 4th guy if you get that power joust stick thing.
Right, you just kind of have to bump him one time, and he goes flying off.
I like it though when you win and you like stand there and start twirling the jouster above your head.
Yeah. Yeah, it's
That's
pretty cool.
Sweet.
It's pretty sweet. Yeah, I can remember. I honestly feel like I did that as a kid. I used to try to get a stick out in the yard and try to twirl it above my head like this game does.
Mm-hmm.
Never worked.
Yeah, never worked.
No, never worked.
No.
So,
did you ever try to make your own joust?
Oh, yeah. All the time. I'm pretty sure we had jousting. Matthew may have even actually had a real-life jousting stick at one point.
Not to bring military stories into this, but we actually do, at boot camp, you joust. You've got these big old sticks with foam ends, and then they put you on a pedestal, and you basically play American Gladiators.
Nice.
Well, I'm joining the Marines tomorrow.
Yeah. So it's actually pretty fun.
I'm sure that's where they got the idea for that in American Gladiators, right?
Probably.
Or we got the idea from them. One of the two.
Surely not. That does look, honestly, jousting, real-life jousting looks like a lot of fun.
Mm-hmm.
And that's all I have to say about that.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay, so the wall.
Oh,
now, this is the one that everybody grumbles about, right?
Mm-hmm.
Except for me.
It makes your forearm tired.
Because I love the wall.
Yeah.
I'm the strangest person, and maybe that's why I like this game more than a lot of people, is because instead of hating the wall, I actually really like it.
Okay. So, what is it about the wall that you like about it? Is it because you're just good at it, or?
Well, I'm pretty good at it, but it also reminds me, my first video game system that I ever had was not a Nintendo. It was a TI-99, Texas Instruments. It was like a keyboard thing. And
well, la-dee-da.
Yeah, no, it wasn't that fancy. It's not exactly. It's
a
not,
calculator, TI.
No, it's not
Texas
calculator.
Instruments.
It's not calculator. It's like a little keyboard thing.
Hey.
Anyways.
Tangent. Mike and I did have Mario on our TI-89 calculators.
That's true. We did. And also Tetris. I probably still do have Tetris on mine.
I don't know where mine is, but I run across it every now and then, and I'm like, hey, there's my graphing calculator. And then I lose it again.
I have mine at work, but I don't think it's got Tetris on it anymore.
Yeah, unless you're an engineer or you teach trigonometry. I don't know if there's a lot of use for a graphing calculator, but...
Yeah. Well, I use mine.
Anyway, you were
Off
playing
tangent.
the TI-99.
Yeah, okay. That was a tangent to the tangent, because this is a tangent in and of itself. But my TI-99 personal computer thingamabob video game system had a game on it called, I think it was just called Mountain Climber or something. And it was exactly what the wall is in this game. I don't know. I played it all the time as a kid, and then this reminds me of that. And maybe that's why I'm good at it, because I used to play the Mountain Climber game all the time. But you're
basically just trained up for it.
Yeah, I'm trained up for it. And I don't know. It's just once you figure out how it works, it's kind of cool. It's kind of like a maze. The only problem is your arm gets tired. It's like playing track and field. You know, you have to hit A, B all the time.
Yeah.
But I love track and field, too. So maybe I'm just...
I know. It used to whoop me in track and field all the time.
You put the controller between your legs and you just
actually
going two-handed.
No, actually,
sliding.
no. We haven't talked about that game yet, but we can go ahead and give away our trick, right, Justin? You take the controller, put your thumb inside your shirt.
Mm-hmm.
I wish people could see me, but you put your thumb inside your shirt
or index finger,
and so it doesn't rub your finger raw, and then you just do this, back and forth, left, right.
Yeah. The amazing thing about that game for me was I would always drown in the pool, and I always find it highly ironic that this person gets to the Olympics and drowns in the Olympic swimming pool. So, anyway. But anyway, the wall, one thing I thought was funny about the wall is when the gladiators run into, like, the squares, and then they go flipping backwards. It's like they don't just fall, they go flipping.
Yeah.
So,
or if they run into you, they do the same thing. You both just go flipping.
Yeah.
What I love about the wall is when you're in that awkward position where where one hand's above and there's no plank, and then you try to go below one, but it goes below too much, and you can't ever get your hands both the same, and then here comes this gladiator, and then they get you. That happened to me so much when I was playing.
Yeah.
I can't ever get my hands on the same.
There's a trick to that too, but I don't really know what to tell you. I don't know how to talk about it. Because I just do it. It just works for me. You just kind of barely tap
There's a
the
trick
button.
when you have skill. You just kind of do it.
That's right. And then what you do is after you do it, you take and you rub the fact that you can do it in somebody else's face.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay. Anybody else got anything else to say about the wall? Obviously, you guys hate it. Probably everybody else in the world hates it. I like it. I can't really explain why I like it other than the fact that I'm good at it.
Human cannonball.
Human cannonball.
Human cannonball is somewhat ridiculous to me because anybody swinging with that much force is going to pretty much knock down a gladiator. Because the game really exaggerates it more than they ever did on the television show. Because in the television show, didn't they have to swing themselves and get themselves momentum?
Yeah, the ropes weren't swinging themselves. But I think they did start on a platform higher than the gladiator, though. So they at least had the gravity helping them out a little bit.
But in the game, it's so exaggerated, it just looks hilarious. And it even exaggerates the fact that you apparently killed the gladiator with the screeching scream as they head to the ground.
They go flying way off screen too. It's really funny.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
What I like is when you go a little too high on the rope and you go flying off, the gladiator just slowly raises their shield up and you just bounce off the top of it. Or even better, my absolute favorite is when you go too high and you let go too late and you go over top of their head. They don't even raise their shield; they just kind of watch you, and you bounce off the back side of the podium.
Well, you just made my job easy there, pal.
Yeah. I don't know. Human Cannonball is all right. It's pretty fun. It's not the... I would probably put it my second from the bottom, Joust and then Human Cannonball. I'm not a huge fan of the Human Cannonball.
Yeah. Yeah. Is that the train?
Yep, that's the train.
Sweet.
Mm-hmm. All right, Powerball.
Okay.
Powerball.
Now, this one was fun on the game and probably one of my favorite on the show.
Yes, this one both on the game and on the show is pretty awesome.
This is one of my favorites because, well, no matter what, you win on this one. So there's a plus right there. And then I don't know, I like juking them out on the game.
Yeah.
The pain you get in your thumb while juking.
Yep.
Yeah.
Definitely get some thumb sore.
Wasn't there a game on the actual American Gladiators that was kind of pretty much just like football?
I think that was this, wasn't it?
No,
because they
this
could tackle
was different. They could tackle you, but this was you were trying to get the balls into the baskets.
Mm-hmm.
But there was a game, and I swear, maybe it's a different show. I swear it's American Gladiators.
Now, there was a show that came out in the 90s that was like American Gladiators. And they had a cage at some point, and I think they had football. It was like football where all you had to do is just go from one end to the other without getting tackled.
You just had to beat one guy.
I think that was the American Gladiators knockoff show that came out in the mid-90s.
British Gladiators?
No.
There was a British Gladiator.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah. But they just, they didn't really do much. They just kind of sit around and drink tea.
That's what I was about to say.
Argued about politics. That was their gladiator.
And then there's Irish Gladiators, and that's just so you can get drunk the fastest.
And duke it out. Swing wild fists. Yeah.
Yeah. Fisticuffs.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Yep. Well, what's nice about Powerball is if you save it, and then whenever you're about to run out of lives and you do it and you get all 5 of them, you get an extra life. So that's a nice little bonus there.
Yeah.
To Powerball. All right. Assault. I was going to move on to Assault unless you got something else to say.
No, it was about the game in general, but I'll save it until.
Okay. Assault.
Mm-hmm.
That one was really cool too. I like it.
Yeah. And again, a favorite of mine from the television show.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
I like it because you can shoot the missiles, or you can just get to the finish line. But let's be honest, everybody just shoots the missiles.
Well, if you had a choice, here's a missile to shoot, or just run over here, and you're gonna shoot the missile.
Yeah, you're pretty sure you're gonna shoot the missile.
What was it on the show? Tennis balls? Like they shot tennis balls out of a machine or something?
Yeah.
Yeah, can you imagine? That would hurt to get hit with.
That's what I was about to say. It's like they were shooting those. There was pretty high powered rifles. They were shooting those tennis balls.
I mean, I've been hit by a tennis ball shot out of like a tennis ball gun on the opposite side of the court. You know, like when you're just practicing, they have a tennis ball shooter, slinger, whatever it's called.
Yeah,
and that hurts. Or just getting hit with a tennis ball that somebody else hits off their racket. That hurts.
Oh, yeah.
So, yeah. Assault would be
that reminds
painful.
me of a favorite story of mine.
A favorite story?
I feel like I've gone on too many tangents.
No, that's all right.
So.
Tangents?
No.
Tangents are good.
It was, so as me and you, we were freshmen, and first time we ever got to play tennis, and we were playing doubles. Play tennis, like, as in play in a tennis match against another school. And the opposing team, so we'd say no if they hit it out, right?
Oh, no. Yeah. Okay.
And so the opposing team like throws up their racket and hits it, and it goes just into the net, right? It's just a fall. and Michael yells, "No!" It was awesome. It's like, let me insult you.
I was setting a precedent so that they knew that we were not to be messed with. We will give no quarter to these opposing tennis players.
Yeah.
Yeah. So.
Okay, did you ever get to the eliminator?
No, we could not get to the eliminator.
Ever?
Never, ever.
Yeah.
I can't even make it past level 2.
Yeah. There is
because of the joust.
There are some guys that have done it online, I guess.
Yeah, we actually watched the eliminator today, just on YouTube before we recorded. And it's interesting. I'm not even sure if I really care to play it because it looks kind of dumb. But you're just dodging a bunch of balls it's pretty long too. But you're jumping across some platforms. The controls look pretty wonky.
Yeah.
And that's pretty much it. You do a zip line. You do the little bicycle thing, the arm bicycle. You know what I'm talking about? Mm-hmm. Which looks impossible to do in real life.
Yeah, I don't see how that's possible. For me. Maybe a gladiator.
Yeah, gladiators I'm sure could do it, but I can't do it. I can barely do a pull-up, much less ride a bicycle across the gorge.
Mm-hmm. Well, all right. So, what do you think about this game as a whole?
I think I've already said, I really dig it.
On the whole, this game feels good?
On the whole, this game feels mighty fine.
I like the game because it adds in elements of like, having so many characters before you die, and yet it feels a lot like a track and field game at the same time. They add like level elements to a game that's not really. It doesn't typically have elements like that.
I think it's the perfect style of game for an American Gladiators game. I would have liked to have seen more of a competition aspect, I guess, more of a tournament style where you're actually competing with the other player. Because honestly, I don't really feel like Matthew and I are competing against each other when we're playing it. Mm-hmm. Other than the high score, I feel like we're kind of just trying to beat it.
Yeah.
And we're each trying to beat it. Not our scores really aren't being compared as far as moving on to the next round, that kind of stuff, like it was on the show.
Mm-hmm.
So
as teammates.
Yeah, that's right. So what about the graphics? How'd you think about the way it looked?
Well, the graphics are decent. They're not the greatest thing I've ever seen, but
I think there are some huge glaring mistakes in the graphics myself.
Are you gonna bring up the blue hair?
No, I don't care about the blue hair. Although it's kind of, I always don't like it when the sprites are all one color,
Yeah.
Like my guy's all blue except for the skin, and then Matthew's guy's all pink except for the skin, which I think he's supposed to be red, but he looks kind of pink on my TV. But I'm talking more like if you go into the second round wall stage, the wall is white, and it's basically just blinding white.
Oh yeah, the colors definitely hurt your eyes on stage 2 anyways.
Yeah, there's a lot of stages where the coloring is it's almost detrimental to trying to play the game.
Black and green.
Yeah.
Which doesn't really make sense together.
Right. So
black and green, gross.
So I think the graphics, they're just kind of mediocre myself. That's probably one of the more major knocks on the game in my book.
Now, one of my favorite aspects of the game is the little cutscenes where the gladiators are talking smack.
Yes, and I tried to pull up a bunch of them because I was going to do a gladiator smack talking quiz and see if you guys could figure out which one was which. But then I also thought Matthew's sitting right here with me, so he could look at the screen while I did. So it's probably pointless, but there's some good ones. I can't remember.
Power puggle sticks. Use them or lose them.
Yeah. I am the Ayatollah of Smackola.
Where there's one, I think it was lace. No, it was gold. Is 24 carats of power.
Yeah. Gemini, I am the Master Blaster.
Yeah.
Whatever that means.
Something dirty.
Probably. What about the sound? The sound I loved. I love the music in this game.
The music's good. Could have done without the screeching death, but overall it was fine.
I don't know. I kind of like the screeching death, and I like the guitar after you beat a level. It goes wow, just right there at the end. I found myself constantly. After I beat a level, I would wait on it to come up, and then right as it did it, I would do the little air guitar.
Oh yeah. Got you.
He would definitely do that.
Yeah, he can vouch. I would do that. As embarrassing as it is. I don't know. I just thought that, and then the bass and the thumping bass and the drum. I don't know. I just really got into the music of this game.
All right.
Okay, so I'm alone in that as well.
No, I mean, I like the music.
Yeah. I mean, it's good. You took the lead on that. I can't really add much.
Okay, all right, fair enough. All right, so we did a high score challenge.
Yeah.
What did you score, Justin? By the way, did you look up your score as you were playing?
You know what? I didn't even think about it. Unfortunately.
That's fine. Matthew and I did the old Kelso 1-2 punch, as dude Sean would put it. Number 1, number 2 on the top 5 list.
Nice.
Yep. Number 1 was me with 974 as my score.
Wow.
I couldn't quite get to the 1,000. I tried. Then Matthew had 852. And then rounding out the top 5 is Dude Baz with 494. Tom Hassinger with 493. That's a close little match there. And Dude Sean with 261 in the number 5 spot.
I'm a little disappointed with Dude Sean this week.
Yeah, well,
he just wins the challenge.
Yeah, I don't know. He's still got time. We won't cut it off for another week. True. So
I'll put mine up.
Yeah, put yours up. We'll keep this game going. I mean, by the time people hear this, the game will probably be over unless you're watching live. But yeah. So as of now, I'm still the leader at 974. I'm hoping to break 1,000 before I quit playing this game, and maybe eventually one day I can beat level 2. But we'll see.
Well, you're only like one away from beating level 2, right?
Yeah, I just gotta get the joust. I just gotta get that joust down in level 2, and I'll beat level 2.
All right, now I'm gonna ask you this question. Now, I paid $6 for this game, and on Amazon, it's going for as low as $1.22. Last I checked.
Okay.
New inbox, $60. But, you know the controversy with new inbox. Is it resealed? Blah, blah, blah. But is it worth? We'll go with like $10. Let's go with $10.
$10. That's
Okay,
middle
6.
ground. You just told me 6 and $1.22, and then now you're going to go up to 10.
All right, so
you're not.
It's $1.22
just, hey,
online.
You need
so
to
let's
go
just
get.
say,
You know, drag that calculator back out of the drawer.
let's just say $20. Let's just say $20.
$20.
I think that's clearly a good middle ground. Okay, $3.
$3. Okay, I think it's worth $3. Definitely.
Well,
I think I
let's
got
say
$3 worth of playing just in the past couple of days.
Yeah, well, we got to say 6 because it's $1.22, but you got to pay shipping.
Okay,
so.
all right, we can say 6. I still think it's worth 6.
Yeah,
personally.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
I think it's a lot of fun. A lot of fun can be had for $6 there. Although with the caveat that if you don't have Kung Fu yet, get that one first because I like Kung Fu better. But
now I'd go up to 10 maybe.
You think you go up to 10, you still buy it?
Yeah.
But then after 10, don't.
Yeah. There's too many other games that you could buy to be better.
I would say that too. I mean, as much as I rant and rave about this game, I do realize that it's not that great of a game. I just have some weird nostalgia tied to it. So I would say that it's not the cream of the crop. I mean, people, it's frustrating. You have to play it a lot to get past, to get good at the game, but it's not like you're getting good because you're getting better at the game. You're just getting good because of repetition and you know what to do. It's not like your skill level increases. You're just getting better at this game. You know?
Right.
So I can see how it's not everybody's favorite cup of tea.
Right. All right.
It's like an oolong, you know. It's not for everybody.
Yeah.
Oh, I started to make an inappropriate joke there, but I'm going to refrain.
Okay. All right, so retrofitted trophies?
Retrofitted trophies. This is the segment that...
Oh, that's when they stole from us.
They stole from us. But Michael apologized for it, so...
Okay, it's fine.
So
I won't sue.
All forgiven.
Yeah,
we're not very litigious podcasters.
I will call up my troop of Apple-like lawyers.
Yeah, I got a couple.
Okay.
One's not really a trophy, but oh yeah.
One's not really a trophy, but it's a trophy.
Yeah.
Justin, a world of catch-22s in one podcast.
I know. So for some reason I'm getting tongue-tied. I haven't been drinking, but I have been sniffing a lot of glue.
Okay, so give us one, Justin.
All right, this first one is called the Winslow Special, and that is lose at the game.
Okay, that's easy to do.
Yeah.
All right.
And that is because nobody really won, and when Carl and Urkel, whatever.
Yeah. I feel like we're both going to rely pretty heavily on Family Matters for our retrofitted trophies. My first one is Steve Urkel would be impressed, and that is to beat the eliminator because he wasn't able to do it. So. Matthew probably. I don't know if he has any.
Okay.
Nope.
All right, I got one here. Blue hair don't care, and that is beat the game.
Oh, okay, cool.
But what if you're a player too?
Oh, then
No.
you do the trophy that I'm about to give, and that is red hair don't stare, and that is lose at the game.
Oh man, we're burning it up on this podcast.
All
right.
That's all I got.
That's all I got too.
Well, then I'll throw one out there. Pit of Death. Knock one of the gladiators off the...
Yes.
Nice.
Off anything, I guess, because it makes the noise no matter what.
The only way that scream is reasonable is if there's like huge spikes down there at the bottom.
I'll give one more too. I'll give one more. I want to put a Zach Wilde would be impressed, and that is at the end of the joust, when you hold your stick up high and you twirl it, and you get that little guitar twang, you just got to imagine that's a guitar above his head, and that would be Zach Wilder being president.
Oh. How cool would it be if in the game, when they designed it, the guy twirls it above his head and then brings it down for that twang?
Oh, man, that would be so awesome.
Twang air like guitar on his joust.
And then lightning strikes him.
Oh, yeah.
We should have designed this game.
Yeah. Yeah.
It would have been so much better.
Yep.
Okay. So, how about rating?
Game rating. And there's not a lot I could do with that. That's the rating for the game.
That's what it is?
The game rating.
What do you think they do in that segment?
Rate the games and each other's performances.
All of the games?
All of the game. Anything that is a game, they rate it.
You do type of tea.
Type of tea?
I feel like we've talked about tea a lot this episode.
I think I brought it up once.
I'm just kidding. We could do...
I'll do a type of tea.
Family Matters character. Because we've definitely done a lot of Family Matters.
Okay. I can do that.
Okay.
Yeah, I can do that.
All right, you guys go first, because I got to think about mine.
All right, I'm going to go with Stevel, the little ventriloquist dummy that comes alive.
Okay.
And that is because it was a pretty cool character, but, it was kind of stupid, though, at the same time.
Okay, fair enough.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I'm going to go with Stefan, because it was really cool. But only for a little while, because, Stefan wasn't there that long. So it was really cool, but for a little while.
Actually, Family Matters got really ridiculous at the end.
It did.
He made, the potion that changed him into Stefan. And then we kind of bought into that. But then, at the end, Urkel was making, things where you could, transport, across the world. And it got ridiculous.
It was pretty ridiculous.
And then he cloned himself and made the clone Stefan.
And then they were both on the show.
Yeah.
How many seasons was that show on?
Well, apparently way too many for the writers, because they ran out of ideas. And they just I think my theory on Family Matters is the writers hated writing for that show, so they tried to make it just stupid ridiculous so that they would get fired. But people kept watching it, so they were like,
ah. Yeah, that's funny. Okay, so mine is Judy Winslow.
Mm-hmm.
Because much like American Gladiators, at the end of season 4, Judy Winslow walks up the stairs to her room and is never seen again.
Oh boy, that is funny.
She was only 10, guys. She was 10 years old. She just disappeared. When are we going to find out what happened to her?
Is when they replace them with a different character. There's been shows where they take a character and then they just ended up replacing it. They did that on the Cosby Show with one of the characters. It was Rudy.
Rudy, yeah.
Yeah, Rudy was on the show. She was a daughter. And then they were like, well, this kid's not cute enough. So they went and got that Raven or whatever her name is to be Denise's daughter. But it wasn't, but Rudy was gone.
Yeah, that was a little strange. But they kind of looked similar to each other.
Yeah.
If I recall.
Not really.
I don't know.
It's kind of a racist remark.
Are you kidding me? No, it's not racist. It's childish. I think all kids look the same.
I'm going to cut this out of the podcast.
Okay.
We'll leave it in for the live.
Are you really going to cut it out? I really did think they looked the same. I don't remember what they look like. That's mainly.
I'm not sure they could look more different, but okay.
Okay, let me pull up a picture. I got to see that.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Rudy and what's the other one?
Judy.
Raven. Simone. Well, I don't know what her name was in the show. Raven Simone is like her real name. Yeah. Well, while you're doing
she was an ugly kid.
Okay, now we definitely got to cut this out.
Oh man, she used to be a listener to the show.
No longer.
Mm-hmm.
They do look so different right now.
Okay, yeah, they do look way different. Okay, sorry. I just didn't remember what they look like.
You know, in Boy Meets
Look at
World,
that cute face.
Morgan disappears for like 2 seasons and then comes back.
Yeah, and I'm not going to lie, Raven is way cuter than Rudy.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. Yeah, they
definitely... They did a good job in replacing...
Yeah, they traded up.
Yeah, they traded up. Yeah. Although, in adult years, if you look at them both, they swap places.
That's true.
Well, they also did that in Step by Step. There was one of the kids they just kind of wrote off. So, okay.
Right.
How about listener feedback or keep-adder feedback?
Yeah, please.
All right. We don't have a whole lot this week, but maybe we'll get some more people to
I think we have a couple voicemails, actually. So.
Oh, sweet. Good. Well, Philip Vaughn said, get the sudden urge to clean my ears out. Assuming that's a joke about the jousts. Bob Sestodio? I'm going with Sestodio. Memories of bad play control. I remember being very angry as a kid with this one. And Aaron Hickman, which was one that we actually called out not too long ago about not commenting a whole lot. Well, he's back. And he says, love this game. It can get stupidly hard, but there's something about those samples. The awesome distorted guitar. Charang! When you pick up a power up or a loud scream as you knock your opponent off their perch is just so satisfying. It's actually quite a bit more fun to me than its 16-bit cousins. The wall stages are the toughest. Be prepared to get a tired hand.
Nice. I'm glad somebody agrees with me about the guitar twang.
Yeah.
And the music. And you know, Aaron's an expert about music, so...
Oh, yeah, he does.
Then he knows therefore, we are right and you guys are wrong.
Pretty sure
I didn't say it was bad. Yeah.
It's all I heard was, wah, 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 I hate the music.
Well, that's exactly what we said, so that's good. That's really good.
Peter Guzman says, who were growing up hasn't seen the show? The game I haven't played, but the show I loved it. Joe Copel says, oh boy, I don't ever remember clearing anything but Joust. The one where you have to drop balls in the buckets and the one where they fire the balls at you. I hated the wall climbing game. And then Jacob McClendon said, show, yes. Game, no. Okay. Sean Muldowney says, I am so terrible at this game. Though I did find the wall to be fun. A thumb workout, but a fun challenge. So Sean's on your side with that.
All right. So I got Aaron for the music. I got Sean for the wall. All right.
And another one that we called out not too long ago for being eerily silent. Jay Jorgensen.
Dude J is back.
Coming back, but I love the show, but this game is pretty dumb from what I remember. Hashtag Dude Fish Lips J. Hashtag Back from the Dead.
Nice. It's been a while. Good to have him back.
Yes, it is. So,
all right. Is that it?
That is it for the feedback.
I'm going to play these voicemails then. And these are not pre-screened, so we may have to edit these out. And if you're listening live, then earmuffs, just in case. There you go.
It's old man. It's about the Christmas. I remember that.
It's Old Man Retro again. He must be on his tractor.
All right.
There's still 20 seconds left on the voicemail.
See if he comes back.
I don't think he's coming back.
No.
Okay.
All right.
I got two more. Hold on.
Dudes. This is Knox Manning, man.
Didn't we play him already?
Dudes. I've been listening to you guys even before you were the dudes. Oh.
I think we played him last time. Sorry.
Dudes.
But thank you, Knox. All right, one more.
Hey, two dudes. This is Atari Man here, and when I heard that you guys were going to be covering American Gladiators, the first thought that popped into my head, and this is to no surprise to either of you, was just how shiny the teeth were of the people that were on that show. I mean, this was totally pre-Rob Luther, when, you know, before it became this hipster thing that everybody was doing, before people were Luthering and, you know, making their teeth incredibly, blindingly shiny. And I always felt bad that they didn't really get that on the game. Like, when you were playing the game, you weren't, like, blinded by the teeth of the gladiators that were trying to get you. I think they really need to redo it in, like, HD. Like an HD remix, like the same guys who did DuckTales. They should totally do it. So now I'm gonna wrap that up. And then when you guys get done playing this, Justin's dog can do something incredibly unholy. And it'll be great. So have a great day, and keep up the good work. Carry on.
Okay, now your dog can do something incredibly unholy, he says.
I don't get that reference.
Maybe he meant my dog. Or your cat.
Maybe.
Okay.
Or he means Michael, who is your dog.
Oh, what's up, dog?
Yeah.
I can do something incredibly unholy.
Oh, boy. Okay.
Okay. All right. So, yeah, good stuff. That's
So that pretty much wraps this up.
Yeah. Give some shout outs to some retro junkies real quick.
Well, they've got the Turtle Flakes, the Radical Retro Roundup. Dude Joe is running over there.
Mm-hmm.
Genesis Gems, which no longer has Rob Luther on it, but we have Aaron Hickman now.
I think he's back. He just comes and goes as he pleases. I don't know.
Oh.
I was also gonna make the comment. I forgot to, but right after that call,
can flash that little smile of his and just get his way.
I was just about to say. I think if anybody on the Retro Junkies network is a gladiator, it's probably Rob.
Yeah. Oh, definitely.
He's got the teeth.
Guy?
He's got
the muscles.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Anyways, yeah. Although, and also, it should be noted that the Genesis Gems no longer hold the Sega crown. There's another Sega podcast on the market these days.
Oh, yeah?
Dude George. He was on the show doing the Bard's Tale with me.
Mm-hmm.
You know, he's doing the Sega Master System now.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, that's cool. And there's like 4 Atari podcasts. You know.
Yeah, every Atari you can imagine.
Yeah. And then you've got Dude Greg has got the SNES podcast.
Bless you.
How dare you. So anyway, always check those out. You can always just check out the Retro Junkies by Googling Retro Junkies. It's going to take you to a website. You can find out all the shows that are on the network.
RetroJunkies.com.
But
where can they find us?
They can find us on twodudesandthenest.com, nestdudes.com, and nintendudes.com. And you can always find us on Facebook. Join the group, join the conversation, join the fun. We need to get Dude Joe to make us some promos.
Yes, that's perfect.
I mean, his voice is like just amazing.
Yeah, he would be the best radio announcer to do some promos for us. That'd be Get him to talk, and then get him to talk really fast at the end with some disclaimers or something.
Yeah, exactly. And of course, you can always call us and hear your voice on the podcast by calling. What's the number, Michael?
It's 775-773-8761 or 775-7-RETRO-1. And I would say that if you're going to call, make sure you have good cell phone signal, Old Man Retro. And get off your tractor, go inside, use the rotary dial, and give us a good call.
All right.
Here. Rate us on iTunes, by the way, too. Sorry.
Yeah.
And donate to us on Patreon.
Yeah, getting up there.
Yeah.
Really, yeah.
We like those.
Yeah. Really going well.
I mean, you can't see this unless you're watching live, but whenever Justin talks, you can see off to the side.
This lovely, lovely, beautiful microphone and microphone stand.
That's right. So, paid for by the beautiful Patreon donations.
That's right.
Yep.
All
okay.
right.
All right. That's good. Here comes stuff from next game. Oh, wait, Matthew, you got anything you want to shout out? You do anything cool?
Just wheelies on my big wheel.
Yeah. You uploading any of those videos to the internets of your big wheelies?
No, not yet. I'm trying to do a good compilation.
Yeah. Okay. Well, when you do, I got you a screen name saved on YouTube. It's Big Willie style. So.
All right, cool.
All right.
All right. See you, everybody.